Good morning, I'm Doug Yates with the Real Estate News Channel.
And I'm Mark Cunningham, Doug Yates' identical twin brother. And remember HAFA, you know HAFA.
HAFA.
Everyone loves HAFA. It's coming, or it's going to go, it's going to stay. I don't even know where it is at this point. Congress can't make up their mind. However, Treasury has kind of been doing a microscope on it, and the banks and they're kind of fighting at each other. And the reality of it is that HAFA actually is growing in the community of real estate a little bit.
Growing in terms of numbers, as far as they've done over 7,100 HAFA type programs for homeowners this year. However, that includes deed and lieu's as well. They've done over almost 83,000 HAFA programs for homeowners.
Yeah, you know, and they're up 73.7% from last month in HAFA. That means they've got over 1,600 that they've done. So it's gone up, but here's the problem.
Yeah.
So now that the demand has gone up a little bit and it's on the rise, what does Treasury do?
Puts their thumb on them.
Yeah, exactly. So they go back to the servicers and say, servicers, you guys aren't doing a very good job. We're not sure that it's being done right. So we're going to just go ahead and hold back your payment till we can figure it out. What kind of incentive is that to the servicer?
This is horrible. This is kind of like cash for clunkers. See, my brother is a finance manager in the card industry. So when that happened, very similar thing. They were coming back to the dealerships and putting their thumb on them saying, well, this paperwork wasn't correctly done. Or you need to add a little more thing, one more thing to this paperwork, or whatever it was. They were finding fault in all of the files that the car dealerships were submitting to the government. And the government would not refund the funds. And there were thousands of car dealerships that went out of business because of it.
Well, you know, and Wells Fargo is crying, it ain't fair, I want my money. You know, we've got Linda Green to pay.
Oh, Linda Green.
Anyways, that's a different story. The thing about it is 86,000 short sales were done outside of HAFA.
Yeah.
Okay? The reality of it is there are far more being done through the banks that are outside of HAFA than being done in HAFA. What does that tell me? That tells me that the banks are not following HAFA totally, and they don't want to, and it doesn't matter because things are still getting done.
That's right. They don't want to be strong-armed by the government. So the private sector always, in the end, does better when they can work things out themselves rather than have the government hang over their head and try to shove something down their throat. It just doesn't work as good.
If the banks don't want to take my money, which I'm grateful for, that they don't take the taxpayer money, and Treasury doesn't want to give it out apparently, then can't we just get rid of the stupid thing and leave it alone so that the banks will do what they need to do? We as realtors will do what we need to do, and we can all just get along.
Hey, Mark, of all the first-time home buyers in this economy, what would you say the percentage is of all those that feel confident that they can make their payment?
That they can just make their house payment.
Just make their house payment.
Because of the economy. I'd say, you know, it'd probably be 60, maybe 70%.
Is that because of their concern for their jobs?
Well, yeah, I mean, unemployment's slightly on the rise.
Right.
We've got now the Dow and stuff is starting to really fluctuate, and there's a lot of reports that that's going to become unstable. We got the double dip housing. So, yeah,
I would say
probably
uncertainty.
Absolutely.
Well, there's good news because the report came out, 87% of all first-time home buyers have claimed that they feel confident they can make their payment even if unemployment hits them.
Wow, that's a lot better than I thought. And the thing is, I guess that ties into consumer spending because it goes into their confidence. So I'd say that's a pretty good report, actually.
I do too.
Here's your short sale tip of the day. Okay, so we may have piqued your interest maybe with HAFA. That's fine. You know, maybe that's the way you want to take your client next time you get a short sale. Well, remember this. Before you can put them into HAFA, because we haven't heard a whole lot about the guidelines in a while, you must put the homeowner into HAMP. That's the modification program. Now, if they don't qualify for HAMP, and most don't, then they can move on to HAFA. But what happens if they do qualify for HAMP? Well, then they have to deny the modification and ask to continue to do the short sale. Now, you can look at it a couple different ways. It's a short track once you get into HAFA. It does speed things up, but HAMP sometimes is where it actually slows down. So if your client hasn't tried that already, then it may not really speed up your whole short sale process, and you may be tied into things that can strong arm you and slow you down and put them into this box where they don't fit. So you want to look into the guidelines of HAFA and really kind of see if you think they even come close to qualifying for either or before you push them down that road, because it may just be quicker and simpler to continue doing the short sale through the banking system.
Hey, we want to thank you once again for watching our show with us today, and we want to thank our sponsor, Exit Las Vegas Realty Center. Thanks, Mark. Where Exit is the fastest growing franchise in the country right now. We're very excited about that.
Yeah, they reached the top 10, and they're the youngest company to ever do that. So pretty cool.
In such a speedy time.
If you think that's cool, then, and you think we're cool, because we are. We're like the Fonzies of real estate. Then go right on up to the top and click on the Facebook link.
Yeah, right up
and
there.
Like us. And then if this is your first time and you think it's coolamundo, as Fonzie would say, you click right here on subscribe and we will subscribe to you. And don't forget about all of our sponsors. Now listen, I got to tell you something. HSA, the home warranty company, is fantastic. They're, like most companies are all over the country. However, their warranties are off the chain. Oh.
Chain?
Off the chain, man. Come on. You got to get in touch with your, your Snoop Dogg.
Nice. Well, you guys have a great day.
See ya.
Hey, Mark?
What?
That Congressman Weiner, oh my goodness, I know, but he entered a rehabilitation center over the weekend.
Where they, work on things and, do massages?
No, massages and Weiner, no, I don't think that's a good thing.
I'm sure there'll still be a happy ending.
Oh.